Alright, new patch note 0.2.0f. Planning to release later today. Respecking Ascendancy class is nice. Good. I am very glad they decided to allow you to do that, because I don't know how long the campaign takes, and let's say you're new and you choose the wrong Ascendancy and you're like, well, now I gotta do another 40-hour campaign. I don't know. I think respecking Ascendancy is a good thing. So in order to respec your Ascendancy class, you must have 0 points allocated in it, but you can now talk to Valhalla or the Trial Master to refund passive points. Trials of Chaos have 7 chambers, and thus grant up to 4 Ascendancy points can now be attempted from level 55 down from 60. I didn't even know those had level restrictions, unless it just means like what zone they drop. Okay. Yes, the charm changes. Hopefully this helps charms a lot, because charms have been in a pretty sad state since release. Belts level 30 and above now implicit modifiers with 1 to 2 charm slots, while belts level 60 and above now have implicit mods with 1 to 3 charm slots. Only affects new belts found after this patch has been deployed. Explicit mods for additional charm slots on belts can no longer roll, so it's always just there based on the level of the belt. Xerfes and Ingenuity belts no longer have additional charm slots, though existing versions of the items are not affected. Bijouborn has intentionally kept its additional charm slots for now, as in the future will be expanding the maximum of possible charm slots to 6. That'll be pretty interesting. With 6, they should actually have pretty good uptime. Massively increase the values on the prefix that restore life. Mana grant ward when charms are used. You can update existing items to new values with a divine orb. That might be good, depending on how like massively it really is massive. All charms with the golden charm have had their maximum charges halves and their charges per use halve, making them refill more quickly. Oh, these are pretty good changes. Base duration of the Stone Charm has also been increased from 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds. Oh, here's a big one. New stash tab affinities. Socketables, fragments, including tablets and trial keys. Breach, expedition, ritual. Thank God, dude. Wait, it's gonna be a stash tab affinity? We're not getting the expedition locker still? Atlas bookmarks, here, that's another very big change. It's very nice. Earlier today, I was really feeling the pain. I was farming citadels, and then I was going back to the Arbiter place right at the start of the Atlas, the burning tower or whatever. And then you would go there, and you had to drag the map like the entire way, and it loads poorly. So hopefully the bookmark will be just boom, TP, easy. Endgame changes. Pinnacle bosses now have unlimited respawn attempts at difficulty 0. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, you know, one of my suggestions for Pinnacle bosses for helping people learn it was there's always unlimited respawn attempts, except it doesn't drop loot if you die. So, I mean, I guess that's close enough. I guess you still got loot though, which is, I mean, you know, I'm gonna say I get flack for this, but I don't think you should win when you lose. I really don't like that. I don't like it in PoE 1. I don't like it in this game. You should not win when you lose. Tower and hideout maps now have a higher minimum number of rare monsters that can spawn. The final rare monster defeated in tower and hideout maps will now drop a map of the same tier you are running, as long as you have enough waystone chance. Defeating the final rare monster in tower maps is still not required to complete a tower map. Huh, I thought hideouts were like actually pretty good. I wonder if hideout farming will be. Well, I guess they kind of ruined the resetting, but I thought hideouts felt pretty good to clear. Added UI tracking for rare and unique monsters and unique maps, tower maps, and hideout maps. Crafting changes. As each new rune tier is unlocked, we are removing the lower tiers from the drop pool. This is to stop you getting spam with lesser runes at high levels. Okay, cool. Overall, past level 52, you will drop more greater runes than currently, but lesser runes and regular runes will no longer drop. Rogue Exiles will always have appropriate tier runes socketed and dropped item levels relative to their level. Scepters can now have sockets, and we've added a new set of talisman modifiers for scepters to allow upgrades to your minions at mid to late game. Nice. Totem changes. All totem skills now start gaining Ellie and Chaos Res, scaling up with the skill level from around gem level 13. At gem level 20, they have 75 all res and 35 chaos res. It's pretty good. 75 all elemental, sorry. Light stun changes. Moderately reduce the capacity for monsters to light stun you, especially during QoL and endgame, by lowering the amount of stun damage they deal, increasing the minimum they must deal to light stun you. Additionally, elemental, chaos, and range damage stun damage has been penalized even further, so you're less likely to be stunned by random stray projectiles and other things of the sort. These changes don't affect light stuns dealt by players. Okay. Good change. Stuns felt a little bit too punishing, maybe. Depending on the scenario, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was super bad. You've added a cluster to the passive skill tree near a CI that allows you to invest into a heavy amount of stun and ailment threshold based on your energy shield. Nice, that's good. Player changes. Shard Scavenger, in addition to its current effects, now restores 1 cooldown for all of your grenades. And a buff for 2 seconds that grants your crossbow attacks consuming bolts. Shockwave Totem buffs, Frozen Locusts, used by all other scales to interrupt what you're doing. Shield Bash, if you raise shield after blocking a hit from a faraway attacker, if there's a different enemy in Shield Bash range. Stormlance is now able to be socketed or supported by ground effect related supports. Raised Shield is now able to be supported by Conk Ground. Fire Explosion and Lightning Exposure have had their wording changed to make clear their effects apply to any target, not just enemies. What? I guess it means like on totems or something? I don't know. Or like the pillars in the Chimera fight? Whirlwind lands in the Keystone. Whirlwind key cover. My brain is so fried, dude. I'm sorry. Improve the visual effects of arcs explosions on hitting a shock target. Glacial Lance is now able to chain off terrain. Add an equip gem section to the gem cutting interface to make leveling up cross-class skills more convenient. Added rarity borders items available to purchase from vendors. Okay, that's pretty nice, actually. That's a nice QoL change. I actually like said this the other day. That's crazy. I'm a prophet. 1 to 100 lightning thorns damage from Greater Rune of Tithing. Breach hands can now drop splinters at all levels. The amount starts low and increases with area level. Shrines are now easier to click on. I was actually complaining about that earlier too. Looking good. Very nice. Monster changes. Some endgame monsters can no longer interrupt their attacks if you move far out of range during the attack to relentlessly chase you. Zerok, this is the 4th lab guy in Sekima trial, no longer aggressively targets player minions if any are present. The Immured Fury is now less likely to target minions. Azak Brutes, Maulers, Stalkers, and Undead Volgards have had the frequency they use their skills, such as ground slams, and the cooldowns increased. Is that a minion nerf? Lamau? Isn't this like the only or one of the few decent minions? Get nerfed, dude. Adjusted the behavior of 180 degrees cleave skill by Gunnar to prevent them using the skill multiple times sequentially. Reduced range skills in Jiquani Sanctum, Agrat, and Utsol. Adjusted the frequency and behavior of the Ice Shard Spiral Volley from Shrines. Just the behavior of Venomous Crabs, and Spitters. Explodes on death less often with the Spider of Cleansing, Fettering, Adjusted the damage dealt by Goliath and Fall Goliath monsters. Let's see, but what does adjusted mean? Is that up or down? Probably down. Lower the damage of the Fallen Force to be more appropriate for how many times it hits. Slightly reduce the damage of Ravenous, Misshapen, Arc Skeleton. Got a bunch of bug fixes. See anything crazy here? Wait. Fix the bug where the Asphyxia's Wrath unique quivers, instead causing enemies to take reduced damage. Dude, I tried leveling with this one time and I was like, wow, this is not good. Oh, yeah, that might help a little bit. Okay. Let's see here. Anything crazy? Attribute runes could not be socketed in wands and staves, so now you can. Fix the bug where the stairs to exit the Act 3 final boss arena wouldn't reappear after defeating the boss. There's supposed to be stairs? I thought I portaled back. Alright, yeah, and then some crash changes. Didn't notice anything super crazy in the bug notes, but overall, patch looks pretty solid. Too bad I'm not really gonna play it because I'm gonna be playing Last Epoch. But I did enjoy this patch. I think this patch, well, not like the overall Dawn of the Hunt. I think all the patches so far, game definitely went in a more good direction than it was before. Not insanely better, but I'd say game's probably like 15 to 20% better now. Definitely a big step in the right direction. Or a moderate step. Stay tuned. I'm probably gonna, just a small update, I'm gonna try and squeeze out some build guides for the Deadeye Twister build and the Galvanic Shard Shock Burst I was doing. And one final build on what I was doing to make money. And that's about it, and then it'll be Last Epoch time.